Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. The last update about Twist of Fate. Pallavi hears that Rhea's baby will bring bad luck to the house and Prachi's baby will bring good luck. And that was Wendy's revelation, and Wendy is grandma's friend. So let's continue. Rhea tells Arian that she is also pregnant with Rambo's child and she is married to Rambo like Prachi. Rhea says there is a lot of differences and says, I am happy that you are with me. My brother is with me. Rhea says you can forget me, but don't forget that I have more connection with you than Prachi. Arian is shocked. Rambo calls Prachi as Cheeky Chick. She turns to him. Rambo says you are behaving as if I have done a big mistake. Prachi nods no. Rambo asks, did I do right? Prachi says no and says you did not do right. Prachi asks Rambo to talk to her from far. Rambo asks why. Prachi says you should be far away from me. Rambo asks Prachi if he is that bad that he will stay away from Prachi. Prachi says to Rambo that I have told you once and I will not say it again. Prachi turns her hair and it eats Rambo's eye. Prachi makes Rambo sit and blows on her palu and she keeps it on Rambo's eye. Prachi asks if Rambo is fine. Rambo says no. Prachi repeats it. Rambo says to Prachi that the pain will not be fine this way and he asks her to give him answers to his questions. Prachi gets up. Rambo says you cannot lie to me and says we are only here. Rambo asks, do you still love me? Prachi turns to Rambo. Rambo says, do you still love me? Prachi gets emotional and says yes. Rambo smiles and gets emotional. He hugs Prachi. Prachi thinks of Rhea's emotional words begging in front of her to leave Rambo for her. Prachi breaks the hug and goes away from there. Rambo is left shocked and he thinks that what did I do? Prachi cries. Shahana asks Millie if someone went from here. Millie says Prachi has went that way. Shahana comes behind Prachi. Prachi says I will not run. If I sleep, then my baby will get hot. Shahana hugs Prachi and asks if you have become a coward. Prachi says no and says she can now feel for Rhea how she would have cried. Rhea hears Prachi and thinks that I want to make your pregnancy as guilt so that you will die. Prachi says to Shahana that Rhea pleaded in front of me for Rambo and I did not do anything for her. Prachi says I am Rhea's baby's mother and I have some duty for her too. Shahana asks, what about your baby? Prachi says I cannot refuse Rhea for her happiness. Rhea thinks that the idea worked. I have scolded my aunt unnecessarily. Prachi says I will not let my baby become the family heir. Prachi tells Shahana that Rhea's baby should be the family's heir and Rhea's baby should get the same love. She says I got emotional and selfish seeing mommy's love. Pallavi hears Prachi and she smiles at her plan. Prachi says to Shahana that she was feeling good that her baby will get everyone's blessings and wishes and she was happy when mommy asked her to stay back. Prachi says my dream broke and it is good. Prachi says I started thinking about Rambo and I was moving towards him. Prachi says to Shahana that Rambo is my sister's husband. I cannot think about him. I should go away from here. Shahana asks, have you gone mad? You are Rambo's wife too. Prachi says Rambo has married Rhea. Shahana says Rambo married you as well. Prachi says to Shahana that Rhea is pregnant with Rambo's child. Shahana says even you are pregnant with Rambo's child and you did the puja. Prachi says Rhea is her sister and one has to back off. She says I will not let my baby miss anyone's love. Shahana says to Prachi that your mom has brought you up and she gave you much love, but you still miss your father. So if you take this baby away from his father now, then he will still miss his father's love and care, no matter how much love you shower on him. Prachi goes away from there without listening to Shahana. Pallavi gets shocked hearing their conversation and she goes away from there too. Arian comes to Rambo thinking about whatever Rhea had said. Rambo asks what happened. Arian asks, why did you marry both of my sister Rhea and Prachi? Rambo asks Arian that what do you think, that I have trapped Rhea and asks him to say what mistake he has done. Arian says the mistake is that you are good at art. If you had not married Rhea, then she would have committed suicide. Arian says to Rambo that if you haven't told me now, then Rhea would have manipulated me. Arian says I got angry for once and asks Rambo to think about his family and get safe from Rhea. He hugs Rambo. Rhea shares her happiness with Aliyah and Shaina. She asks Shaina why she did not go. Shaina says she has just gone to the restroom. Aliyah asks Rhea why she is happy. Rhea tells Aliyah that she has asked her to plead in front of Prachi and she acted to cry and she says that Prachi said that she has to go away from here. Rhea says Prachi will go in the morning, very far away from here. Rhea appreciated Aliya's plan. Aliya says to Rhea that you scolded me so much that day, and now you are saying that my plan is awesome. Rhea says I don't know how to react, and I just reacted anyhow. Rhea says you know how much I love you, and she kisses on Aliya's forehead. Rhea says to Aliya that I have nobody other than you who loves me and supports me. Rhea says finally, your plan is going to be a success and I have won. It is finally going to happen, though some is taken. Rhea asks Shaina if she was taunting her and she asks her to stay in her house. Rhea says that she is Rhea and she cries so much in front of Prachi, begging her to leave the house for the sake of her baby. Rhea says a bit of credit goes to Prachi and says Prachi is a big fool because her mind stops working seeing anyone crying. Rhea laughs and says I have destroyed my sister's house, and she keeps on laughing. Rhea says I am so mean. Shaina says to Rhea that let Prachi go first and then you can celebrate because premature celebration gets bad sight. Rhea asks Shaina to get out and she holds her hand. Grandma and Wendy talks about their childhood. Pallavi comes there. Wendy goes. Pallavi says to Grandma that I heard Prachi talking to Shaina and said that Prachi has decided to leave the house. Grandma says to Pallavi that you had convinced Prachi not to leave the house, so Prachi will not leave. Pallavi says Prachi will go, and she asks Grandma to stop Prachi from leaving the house. Pallavi says if Prachi goes away from this house, then she will. Before Pallavi completes her statement, Pallavi recalls Wendy's words that Prachi's baby will bring good luck to the family and that the baby is auspicious for the family, while Rhea's baby will bring bad luck. Pallavi asks Grandma to stop Prachi from leaving the house at any cost because she doesn't want Prachi to leave. Grandma asks Pallavi and says you had asked me to ask Prachi to leave and today you are asking me to stop her. Grandma says you have ordered me before and now you requested me, so I will do it. Grandma says that now Prachi doesn't need any love, but she needs her mother-in-law's love. She might stay back for a few days if I tell her, but it is not solution. She says she is not a guest, but a daughter-in-law, and she asks her to find out why she wants to go away from here. Grandma asks Pallavi to go and find out the reason, because that is the solution. Pallavi goes. Wendy comes there and asks if everything is fine. Grandma says everything will be fine now. Prachi comes to the room and sees Rambo and Aryan hugging each other. Rambo asks Prachi to come. Aryan says it is your room. Aryan asks Shahana if the rain has started, and he asks her to come as he feels scared. Aryan takes Shahana outside. Rambo thanks Aryan. He closes the door and comes to Prachi. Rambo makes Prachi sit on the bed and says he is tired, and he knows that she is also tired as she was sitting for a long time to take gift. Rambo asks Prachi to change her clothes, else she might catch fever. Rambo gives Prachi's clothes and asks, what are you thinking? Rambo asks Prachi to think only positive things. Prachi goes to the washroom. Rambo asks Prachi not to close the door as he heard that pregnant ladies might faint and fall. Rambo asks Prachi to change. Till then, he will set the bed. Prachi comes out after changing her clothes. Rambo asks Prachi to come and says he will make her sleep. Prachi lies down on the bed. Rambo asks, can I hold your hand? He holds Prachi's hand. Prachi looks at Rambo. Rambo says you have to close your eyes to sleep. Prachi thinks that she cannot get sleep as this is her last night here in this house with Rambo. Rambo asks Prachi to close her eyes. Rhea makes Shaina sit in the cab and she asks the driver to take Shaina away. Shaina apologizes to Rhea. Rhea asks Shaina to go. Aliya asks Rhea not to get angry. Rhea tells Shaina that she never loses and that is why she is celebrating. She says Prachi will go in the morning. Aliya thinks what happened to Rhea all of a sudden. Pallavi comes to her room and she lies down to sleep. Pallavi gets up all of a sudden and says Rhea should leave from this house. Vikram asks what happened. Pallavi says I have seen a dangerous dream and it was very dangerous. Pallavi says Rhea has to leave. Vikram is shocked. Pallavi sleeps. She then holds Vikram's hand and opens her eyes and says she would ask Rhea to leave the house and let Prachi settle down fully. Vikram is shocked at Pallavi's strange behavior and Pallavi sleeps again. Shahana and Aryan comes out. Shahana says I want to go back. Aryan says you have said that Prachi is getting sleep. Shahana says I want to make Prachi sleep. Aryan says her husband is with her. They argue. Arian jokes and then asks Shahana to have a boyfriend. Shahana asks Arian that why do you want me to have a boyfriend all of a sudden, and you sometimes call Stanley as my boyfriend. Arian asks if he is your boyfriend in reality. Arian says there's something behind your ears, and he moved Shahana's hair from her ear. He then says that he made her whole. Shahana runs behind him, but Arian runs away. Shahana looks on and she smiles a bit. Aliyah asks Rhea if she has gone mad to behave this way with her friend. She says leg pulling and teasing is okay between friends. She says you share dark secrets with Shaina and says when I am not there, Shaina can help you. She says I tried to stop you, but you did not listen. Shaina comes there and says sorry to Rhea. Shaina says that the taxi was not working, so I have to come back. Shaina apologizes and says that she will do as Rhea says and she will celebrate when Rhea wants to celebrate, and Rhea forgives Shaina. Shaina asks Rhea and says you are the best. Rhea says she knows. Rhea asks Shaina to go to Aliyah's room as Rambo will come and sleep here today. Aliyah and Shaina goes. Rhea says I am the best. She sprays perfume on herself. Rhea comes to Prachi's room and knocks on the door. Rambo comes out and asks Rhea what she wants. Rhea asks what are you saying? Rhea says she wants her husband. Rambo says I will not come as I want to be with Prachi. Rhea says to Rambo that how many times will I tell you that we are husband and wife? Rambo says his wife is Prachi. Rhea says we are married. Rambo says I am irritated and done. Rambo says he will do what he wants and he doesn't care with whom he is married to. Rambo says his heart wants to stay with Prachi. Rhea says that she is pregnant with Rambo's baby and she asks Rambo to make his heart understand. Rambo asks Rhea to make her mind understand that Prachi is pregnant before her. Rhea says you are humiliating my pregnancy and you are insulting me. Prachi wakes up and hears Rhea and Rambo fighting. Rambo asks Rhea, did I ever tell you that I love you, that I want to be with you, that I don't love Prachi, or I don't want to stay with Prachi? Rambo says that night when Prachi and I had a fight, when I was crying in my room and drinking wine. Do you remember? Rambo says to Rhea that I asked you to go away from me that night because I was drunk. But you did not go and you were not drunk. Rambo asks, did you know about which night I am talking about? That night when you got your so-called pregnancy. Rambo says to Rhea that Prachi is the only one I love and not you. Rambo asks, why didn't you leave? And when I was keeping you away from me, then how did you get pregnant? Rambo asks Rhea not to show right on him, as only Prachi has right on him. Rhea says to Rambo that Prachi doesn't love you and she wants to go away from you forever and ever. Rhea says in fact, Prachi is going tomorrow morning and says she heard Prachi telling this to Shahana that she would go away from here. Rambo is shocked and he says okay, if this is the last night that Prachi is spending with me, then let me spend it with her. Rambo goes to the room and says that his mom has stopped Prachi from leaving the house and he will not let Prachi leave even if she wants to. Rambo asks Rhea to leave him and Prachi alone and Rambo goes. Prachi closes her eyes seeing Rambo coming back. Rambo sits on the floor and he holds Prachi's hand and says he loves her a lot. Rhea comes to her room and breaks the things in her room. Aliyah and Shaina comes there. Rhea says Rambo refused me and he insulted and humiliated me. Rhea says he has closed door on my face. Rambo should be with me and not with Prachi. Rhea asks Shaina, with whom should Rambo stay? With me, right? And Shaina says yes. Rhea says even I am pregnant and she asks if this is the respect that her pregnancy should get. Rhea says that the baby should just be cute and says I swear I will kill Rambo's unborn baby, that is the fake baby. Aliyah and Shaina are shocked looking at Rhea performing drama. Okay guys, thank you so much guys for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, share it and subscribe to this channel for more updates. And I'll see you all again in my next video. Thank you.